Rakesh did it. Accuse him. Business can get ugly. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. You never know who you can trust. That's why you make sure you're the one with the edge. How you get that edge, well, that's up to you. Mr. Body, for instance, chose to get his edge with dirt. Blackmail. Isn't that right, Rakesh? After all, it's how he got you to work for him for so long. I don't know what... You didn't get here at 7. The butler would have heard the fight leading up to the murder. I have no doubt your alibi checks out until almost 7, but you checked out a little early, didn't you? You got here while the butler was away. You were sick of being toady, so you came in to search Mr. Body's safe, see if you could get out. But he caught you, didn't he? You gave chase and caught up with him, smashing his skull in with the first thing you could find. And then, for good measure, smashing his watch when you were done. With the blood on the adjustment knob on his watch, I can tell you, set the time back to 7 so your alibi would check out. But you could never get into the safe you needed because he had the key with him the whole time. Unlocks a whole ton of dirt on you, doesn't it? No, do not open the safe. I'm not a man of means. When a man like Mr. Bobby gets something on you, it's impossible to get out from under him. I had to do this so you not see. It's the way I had to be. He had to be stopped before anyone else could do something. Porter Rakesh. Tell it to the police. Congratulations, Max. You've solved it. Oh, wait. Lame. Yeah. I was wondering if that would happen. If whoever you accused was the guilty party. So, Isabella. I take a long look at Isabella, who looks back at me. After a moment, she winks and blows a kiss. It's not difficult to see. An elaborate party, a bunch of invitations with pre-written messages. A convenient excuse that would seem to put them out of the house at the time of the murder. The murderer is clearly the biggest liar here at this party for liars. The one pulling the wool over our eyes from the very start, the butler. After all, can anyone corroborate where you were when you say you were out for supplies? You probably did leave, only did it after killing Mr. Body. What? Well, I didn't do anything! Tell it to the cops, chump! Isabel sidles up to me while the others round on the butler, pelting him with questions about why he did it and what the ruse was about. She looks at me for a moment, shaking her head in confusion. The butler finally disengages from the group accosting him. I'm sorry, Max, but you got it all wrong. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have. I want to thank you all for coming, blah, 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 blah. I can't believe how much fun that was. Aww. Nope. No. Load game. Isabella didn't accuse her. It's a tell us all the time, really. A successful boss gives himself a pretty secretary. Figures he can string her along and have his fun. And once he's had his fun, he can toss her to the curb like so many others. She's getting mad. Of course, no woman appreciates being tossed to the curb, which is why when she came to what she thought was a party and discovered it was in fact a sugar daddy cutting her off, she snapped. Isn't that right, Isabella? She turns her anger into a seductive glance. You've had your fun. Now tell us who really did it. Surely you didn't actually think I did it. Sorry, babe. You're not getting off that easily. I've got to give you a little more help. You didn't get here at 7. The butler would have heard the fight leading up to the murder. I have no doubt your alibi checks out until almost 7, but you checked out a little... Oh, it's the exact same lines. It's literally the exact same lines. You probably staged the fight with Chad to cement your alibi. Dead wrong, detective. Yes, he was going to break it off with me, but I broke it off with him first. I was tired of the secret. What do I care what people think? It's what Chad and I were actually fighting about. And we were here at it until 7. Thank you very much. Aww. Okay, so you just have to get it right, and it's just a Rakesh thing. Okay. Oh, there we go. I wanted to try it out. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, there we go. Everyone claps loudly for the butler who takes a bow. People start heading out the door. There we go. Latin house roomies gather in the lot. I can't believe how much fun that was. Did you see me in there? Definitely. Clearly you need to channel some of that all the time, man. Oh yeah, you were definitely working it. She wasn't the only one. Well, hey, if you got it, flaunt it. Though I can't believe they made me the other woman for some sleazy old businessman. Well, if the shoe fits. Watch it, jackass. Everyone laughs as Isabel starts chasing me around, threatening to bite me. That was a lot of fun, to pretend to be someone else for an evening. I suppose that is what Halloween is all about, yes. I suppose that's very true, Rakesh. Nice work. Well, now that I'm done with pretending to be a sexy office worker, I think it's time to pretend to be a drunken vampire. Who wants to go get some research material? Here, here. Are you really going to pretend to be drunk? Everyone just stares at Rakesh for a moment before we head off laughing to the frat house. That was a long event. Jesus. Is it the week? That is the week. Okay. So here's my big thing. I'm going to cut off a lot of these relaxes and just do more work, basically. So, rational, no. Arty, yeah, that'll work. Creative. Alright. That should be better. You know what? I think this is going to be a good week. For a change, I'm actually getting out the door without running into something crazy delaying me. The last few weeks have been ridiculous. Everyone else has already gone to class, so I lock the door behind me as I head out. Or at least I thought the others had gone to class. It looks like Sally's coming back. Yay. And she's definitely smuggling something. I know that looked very well. Jacket clutched at her chest, eyes darting all over the place, slightly hunched over like she doesn't want something to fall out. I walk out the gate, give her the wave as I turn toward my class. Oh, Max, hey, I forgot a book. Wow, she's pretty terrible at lying about it, too. She runs past me and heads to the door without looking at me in the eyes. Tells she's struggling to keep her jacket closed and get it in her pocket at the same time. I suppose I could go over and help, but that just means getting tied up into whatever crazy scheme she's got going on today. I just don't know if it's worth it. She's probably got a fucking cat in her coat. Who am I kidding? When have I ever run from trouble? I sneak up behind her as she struggles to hold her jacket closed while opening the door. I don't think anybody will care about that much about a bag of weed. So what? Crack? Oh, Max, you jerk! Don't scare me like that, and shut up. It's nothing of the sort. Sally struggles with her jacket for a few minutes, looking around hastily. Everyone else is gone, right? It's Dominic's TA day, right? I think so. Why is that? Before I can finish my sentence, I hear it. A small whimper, like a small dog. Oh, it's a dog, not a cat. Is that what I think it is? Sally sighs and opens her jacket, revealing a tiny puppy. Well, that's certainly not what I was expecting. I can tell. Crack? Really? I was just joking. Kind of. Where'd you find him? He was just wandering down the street by the main avenue. What? Did you ask around about him? Of course, I don't just go around stealing dogs. I didn't say that. Anyway, he was about to go wandering into traffic, so I scooped him up. I looked all over, but nobody claimed him. I don't see any tags or anything. Who would abandon a cute little guy like this? I don't know. It just happens a lot around college towns like this. People get a pet, and then they have to move away for some reason, and they just abandon their poor animals. Sarah looks like she's about to cry just thinking about it. Well, for now, let's get him inside. Come on. I unlock the door and step through and take off my coat. You do know this is totally against the rules, though, right? Dominic will freak the fuck out. Well, I'm not letting you if you're not. Hey, I've got your back. I'm always up for some rule breaking, especially if it pisses off Douchenick. Here, stay here and cover him up. I'll make sure the coast is clear. Thank you, Mac. I really appreciate your help. So does little Vegemite. Vegemite? Suddenly I hear rustling from the kitchen. I try to speak a bit closer. I suddenly see Dominic's hand pushing the door open. Crap, I've only got a moment to figure out what to do before he comes out here. Count to 35 before coming back in. I slammed the door on Sally, shoving her back outside. Now what to do? I took a hit for Sally. If I've got Douchenick pegged, there's one thing he can't mess up. The chance to lecture no good like me. I walk over to the kitchen as loudly as I can. Ha! Those suckers actually thought I was going to class. Class is for losers. Losers who can't get laid at that. Oh, is that so? What? Dominic, what are you doing here? I am both shocked and also surprised. I'll just bet you are, you slacker jackass. I can't believe you thought you'd just get out of your classes and nobody would be around to call you on your crap. I'm never into a seat behind Dominic, who rounds on me with a full head of steam. I'm definitely going to pay for this. For one thing, have you considered how much you're paying for this? Or, I'm sorry, your parents are paying for this? Am I right? That's incredibly disrespectful to them and to yourself. After all, blah, 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 blah. I tune Douchenick out as the doorknob handle turns quietly. Sally pokes her head in, sees the situation, and sneaks upstairs. She gives me a look of sympathy as Dominic rails on. Yeah, but who cares about that? I didn't know what he was saying, but it's enough to set him off again, keeping his attention on me. Let the check on Sally later tonight. It's worth the lecture to help her out. You know, in all the time you've been sitting here lecturing me, I could have made it to class. Get out, you jackass! He really is too easy. Alright. Damn, there's a lot of events lately. Crap. I shouldn't have checked my email. One of my profs wants to see me. This is not good. See me after class is right up there with we need to talk for bad indicators. I guess I could always just avoid the whole thing, but Professor Task's temper is pretty legendary. If I miss the meeting, I don't know what he'll do. Play the event. Suppose there's nothing for it, I'll just have to go. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. I try to keep my head down during class, and afterwards head over to the professor's office. Professor, you wanted to see me? Ah, Max, exactly on time. If only you were this diligent in class. I hate it when he grimaces at me like that. It looks like he's trying to dissect me. Looking around, I notice there's another student already here. At least she started not trying to kill me with her eyes. Yeah, sorry, prof. Well, anyway, to the matter at hand. You both know I've been helping out the sociology department lately, right? Well, one of the other professors is running an experiment. She wanted me to give a few of my students a little questionnaire. You don't have to, but I'll give you a bit of extra credit for your trouble. I have no problem filling out a questionnaire, Professor. This girl looks at me, waiting on my response. She notices me looking back at her and a little vacantly and blushes, looking away. Guess I have that effect on all the ladies. Thank you, Carmen. And you, Max? It's not like you couldn't use the credit with your grades. There's that damn glare again. Yeah, sure, I'll fill the thing out. The professor nods like he hadn't expected any less. He hands us the papers without further comment. There are a few questions on the paper, mostly about my college life. I fill in most of it pretty easily. The last question gives me pause, though. Your fellow student has obtained the answers for the next test. They plan on using them, as do several others. They offer you the chance to use them as well. There is no chance for you to be caught using the answers. Do you use them? Yes. Hell yeah, I'd use them. Who wouldn't? I mark it down and give the professor my sheet. Oh my, look at me. This is my shocked face. It is surprisingly similar to my disappointed face. Well then, you should probably hope nobody gets the answer to the test, shouldn't you? Besides, isn't this supposed to be an anonymous survey? Indeed. That's enough for now, Max. Go on with you. Man shouldn't ask questions he doesn't want to hear the answers to. That's all I'm saying. I still take off pretty quick, though. I wonder what the point of that was. Alright, Jersey, check. Water dispenser, check. Team Spirit, well, let's probably get to work. I don't think I've ever seen someone build a 12-foot tall pyramid of water-filled Dixie cups before. They're gonna love it. I guess that went pretty well. That makes no sense. Gah! Doesn't it just figure I finally decided to do my homework and now I can't figure out how to do this one? I'm just going to give this up as a bad idea. Everything alright? Wait, Max studying. Wait, maybe I walked into Anne's room on accident. Shut up, douchebag. Who asked you? Can you blame me for being shocked, slacker? Did you call me Dominic? What? Oh, sorry, no, I was just giving the slacker a hard time. Oh, studying, Max? Good for you. See? She knows how to encourage a guy, douche-nick. Still, the last thing I need is these two breathing down my necks. Could always ask for help, I guess. Play event. Alright, you two chuckle nuts. If you're going to hang around, make yourselves useful. Throw my worksheet at Dominic, who looks over the problem while Anne looks at it over his shoulder. Wow, that is a tough one. Oh, I didn't know you were taking this class, Max. Okay, I think I see how this is supposed to go. It's a logic question, basically. No, I think that's a trick question, right? I mean, that statement is fallacious, isn't it? You think? No, it seems pretty straightforward to me. Yeah. It's probably one of those things that you guys are saying. Feel free to just go ahead and write down the answer once you've got it. I'll be out back with a beer if you need me. I actually got halfway to the stairs down from the second floor before they pulled their heads out of my book. Nice try, jackass. Max, come on, you can do this. Talk through the problem with Anne. I turned my back around and headed into the room. As I passed them, I plucked my workbook out of Dominic's hands with one hand and put my other arm around Anne's waist, pulling her into my room with me. Alright, Anne. You think this is a trick or something? Help me out here. She gives me a reproachful look and pulls my hand away. Come on, Max. You can do this. Just get a bit serious. Anne, don't bother with this slagger. Let him sink on his own. It's fine, Dominic. I've got this. Yeah, she's got this, Dominatrix. Feel free to buzz off. Max. Whatever, I'm out of here. Dominic storms off as Anne shakes her head at me. He really is trying to help. I just think you're better at making this stuff seem